All right, I'd like to call to order the Oxford Area Cable Communication Commission meeting for Monday, December the 18th, 2023. Stand and pay our respects to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We will expect Maureen Helmuth in a short while, so I can skip around the agenda, can't I? As long as, I mean, that's not.
You can get up through, the only thing that you would really need her for is 9B and 10A.
Well, we do need to amend the agenda.
Because what?
We need to vote for officers.
Oh.
Is that what we do this time of the year?
Yeah. Well, I knew you were anxious to take over, so
I'm not taking over.
We don't do that in January?
I'm not going to be here January,
Oh.
so I don't care, but I won't be here.
Well, you know what happens when you're not here.
I know what happens when I'm not here. I'm experiencing it. But
Well, we can do it now. It won't matter. It's for next year, right?
it is for next year, but January starts the next year. I mean, if you want to wait till January, that's up to you guys. But let me put it, I wanted to add it to the agenda, and if we want to decide to wait till next year, then so be it.
Do you want a roll call first?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. We'll make it,
Just new business.
You can amend the agenda.
new business, we'll make it B. If we vote to do it.
Okay.
So, election of officers. So, I move we amend the agenda to include item 10B, election of officers.
Support.
Support. Roll call.
Okay. Catherine Colvin is absent. Maureen Helmuth is absent. Karen Geibel.
Yes.
John Hawkins.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Sorry, who
Okay.
else do we have here?
Then we can discuss it
Henwick,
at
I'm
the
sorry.
time we get to it.
Okay. All yes. Roll call.
All right. Have you taken roll call?
She was trying
No.
to do that when you.
Oh, that's what you meant.
We
by
went
roll call.
backwards.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Ed Henwick.
Here.
Catherine Colvin is absent. Maureen Helmuth absent. Karen Geibel.
Here.
John Hawkins.
Yeah.
Okay, and hopefully Maureen will be here soon. Item 4, approval of the agenda.
You did that. With
Oh, we did do
The
that.
change.
Yeah. Public comments of items not on the agenda. Kyle? Still nothing.
got nothing.
He's gonna surprise us one of these days.
Yeah, I know.
He's gonna break out in a song and dance.
Item 6, minutes of the meeting from November 20th, 2023. I didn't find any issues with them myself. But
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
okay, we have a motion. It's been seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Bill review. 2023 expense revenue bill run for approval from 11/20 to 12/4 of this year. They're on pages 4 through 8, and the approval of the total expenditure is on page 8. Actually, it's page 6.
6 to 17.
Yeah,
Of 17, I'm sorry.
This one says page 8, but it's page 6. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me as being out of the ordinary.
Pretty quiet.
We vote on the bills without Maureen? I'll make a motion to approve the bills as presented in the amount of $18,945.21.
I'll second.
Got a motion, and it's been supported. Roll call, please.
Karen Geibel,
Yes.
John Hawkins.
Yes.
Ed Hunwick.
Yes. Okay. All right. The year-to-date revenue and expense report and the general ledger distribution report. We'll need a motion to review and to receive and file. We need a motion to receive and file after you review.
The audit fee is still showing up that it hasn't been applied yet, the amendment that we did in October, but it will catch up. So it looks like we're over on that line item. And then we're over on the telephone line item, and that's from our last attempt to amend that. That's the amount that the township takes out of our general fund for their internet services, and television and internet. And that, the minutes to support that, well, we can get to that when it comes to the amendment. But anyhow, those are the only two things on the expenditure report that concerned me. Everything else, I'm within the percentages that I need to be at this point. And it looks like we're gonna come out about 20,000 ahead of our budget. Ahead, to the good.
I mean, you didn't spend enough money?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a nice cushion.
Any questions, John, on the reports?
Yeah,
Again,
definitely.
I went through them earlier today, actually on the plane.
It's a receive and file.
Right. Well, everybody is still reviewing. I'll make a motion to receive and file items 7B and 7C.
Support.
Oh, we have support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh, that was quick. On, well, this says page 13, but the Michigan class, where our money is,
And the money does fluctuate. Joe transfers funds when he pays our bills on a monthly basis. And Karen was asking about that last time.
well, currently we have 231 in the bank.
Correct.
Yep, and change.
On that one, on
Yeah.
that CD.
And then the other report is the
The Oakland County.
Oakland
investment.
County investment pool, which we only have a few bucks in, just to keep the account open in case things go south with this current investment.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the Michigan Class Investment Report dated on November 30th, 2023, and the Oakland County Investment Pool dated 12/4/2023.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been supported, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, good stuff. Status of House Bill 4965.
So MICMA had a meeting last week, today's Monday, right? And there's nothing happening yet with it. However, there's a lot of movement in the communities. People are writing to senators. We really need every person, not just a board, to write. It makes a difference. We are beginning to make some noise. The chair of which committee is that? The
Oversight.
Oversight Committee, before it goes to the Senate, acts like he's not in favor of this, which is really a good thing. But there's a number of people on that board, and it could fly through just like it did fly through the House Oversight Committee and then into the House. So if you are talking to anybody during the holidays, encourage them to write your senators. I have a list of the commissioners on the Oversight Committee. I will get out to everybody, and you can write them too. Hi, Mo.
Hello, kids.
But
We're in 8C.
when they get back from holiday, it could go on the floor of the Senate by January 10th. So
So-
we really need to talk to our senators,
Who has the decision-making authority to put it on the floor?
the Oversight Committee,
The chair.
the whole board, but yeah, the chair would then recommend it. Then if it went to the Senate and passed through the Senate, it would then go on to Governor Whitmer.
And is she expected to sign it?
So people are really confused. So if streaming services were charged the franchise fee for video services, just like AT&T, Comcast, and Charter, that would tack on another couple dollars to your bill. And so senators, and I don't know how Whitmer thinks it's another tax. It's another expenditure to their constituents. What they don't realize is it's going to cost communities, I think it's $9 billion in the state of Michigan that they collect just from those three video service providers. And now there's Hulu and Netflix and Disney. They're all using our rights of way for free right now. And that's what the senators are not seeing. And it's like they're rent free. They're living in our communities rent free, and your residents are paying for them to be here because they're paying for those services.
Well, what are the chances they will just leave the current situation status quo? I mean, could they just leave it the way it is without bringing in the streaming?
It would be really nice, but House Bill 480, isn't it? 480? 2 or 3 years
4965.
ago, streaming services were identified, and it passed through the House, the legislature, everybody and their brother. It's a law. They were identified as delivering video services. However, no community has collected for 8 years. It's been 8 years. And so therefore, since nobody's collected for 8 years of video streaming services, now that it's getting really, really popular, and now even Comcast is moving their customers over to streaming, so they won't have to pay franchise fees. So they're saying, you didn't collect for 8 years, why should you bother to start now? Which we should have started 8 years ago. And if this goes through and our legislature said, okay, it's not really a law, the video streaming services don't have to pay franchise fees, then Comcast, Charter, and AT&T can say, they're doing the same thing we are, how come we have to pay franchise fees if they don't have to? And that's how we could lose all of our
Well, you
franchise
just said
pay.
Comcast is trying to
Well, yeah, okay.
convert.
Yeah. And
So
so who's to
if-
say?
I'm trying to understand this whole thing here. If Comcast let's say they lobby to convert me to go to streaming, that means I'm not gonna get cable, period?
You'll still get everything, you just won't have to pay the franchise fees, and neither will they.
But what's changed? How they deliver it to me?
Yes,
So they're not gonna use coaxial cable that's buried in my ground and on through the
they're gonna
neighborhood.
stream through your
It's on internet.
internet, right.
So it's strictly internet based at that point. All the wiring in my house is for naught.
Could be.
Just like your landline connection.
Yeah, I still have one of those.
But do you use it?
Oh,
Doesn't
they,
ring.
they threw it in for such a, I'm paying $5 a month and I don't even know my number anymore because when I moved after 30 some years with the same number, I can't even remember it. I have it written down and it's on a post-it on my computer screen so I know what my home number is. So
So right now,
streaming is identified as part of the video service we're supposed to get franchise fees paid for, according to the law.
say that again, I missed what
Streaming.
you were saying.
Netflix,
Right. Yeah, that's
Hulu,
part
all
of
those
their
things.
video services, yep.
so they're not doing that.
They're not collecting.
And if the legislature says we're just gonna, I'm just throwing a scenario out there. If they were gonna keep everything the same, we're not gonna charge for streaming, but we'll charge for the cable. The cable companies can just convert everybody to streaming.
Eventually, right. Yeah, so it could take maybe 2 years, and in 2 years, we're out of business. And we would last maybe a year, maybe a half a year.
That was my next question. If they vote to stop the funding, when does that cease? Right, immediately, or is it?
No, I think that they would wait till the next fiscal year.
Okay, so then you still would operate for another, for the remainder of the fiscal year,
And then whatever we have.
and
in our
whatever you have
general
in the
fund.
bank, and then that would be it?
However, and I probably shouldn't bring this up yet because it's really early, but I've heard some public access stations talk about campaigning for a millage. Because there's some
That'll
that
go
are
over
very
well.
valuable to their community, like Grand Rapids, that area. They love their cable, their public access.
Well, I
station.
suppose that's an alternative way for funding, if the community wants to go in that direction, I guess.
Then the community would either speak loud and clear or forever.
Yeah, I guess then you'll know what your relevance
Right.
is at that point.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, so
we already know how relevant
what,
we are, though.
in your
Say,
best,
not Terry, but the station, because we know Terry's relevant.
Thank you.
your best guess, if you had to pick a date or a month, when will they vote on this?
January 10th. It could go to the floor.
Could.
It could.
When do you think it will?
January 10th.
January 10th. All right.
Unless, so some communities have really mobilized, and everybody in their community, the library directors, the art, Parks and Recs, which, by the way, Parks and Recs did sign a resolution opposing this bill for us. But individuals in the community, senior centers in the communities, they're all mobilizing and sending letters. It's becoming pretty loud that the communities that do have television stations are really mobilized. The communities that don't are the ones that are going to hurt the most. They're the ones that are keeping all those franchise fees. They're hiring firefighters, police officers, fixing their communities, sewers, etc. They're the ones that have just been absorbing that money since 1986. They don't even realize it's going to be taken out of their general fund. Those are the communities that we really need to talk to.
My guess is if this does happen,
Which way are you going,
the
John?
cable companies aren't going to be giving back the monies that they take.
Your bill is not.
They
gonna
won't give
change.
It's not going to change. You're
No.
not going to say, here, we don't have to collect this anymore, so we're
They'll
going to lower
continue.
your bill by $8 a month, $5 a month, whatever.
Right.
I'm guessing that's not going to happen. They're going to
No.
keep it.
They'll keep it. And they will make billions. Like I said, I think it's $9 billion in the state of Michigan alone. It's 900,000 in the city of Detroit that they'll lose. in franchise fees.
What are the lobbyists, what's their, I mean,
Their argument to the
yeah, I was gonna say, how are they arguing in favor
they're
of?
saying it's going to add more to the customer's bill, which it will, but it's a dollars compared to millions of what they're going to lose. And they don't say that. And there were only 4 of us allowed to say anything when it went to committee the first time. And they're not sure, MICMA's not sure, and Protect is not sure if we will be allowed to speak to this committee before it goes to the Senate. They're not sure, because they say that they've heard our argument already. The lobbyists have a lot of money. They're there constantly. They're loud and clear. And they're drumming the same drum, so it's being beat into the legislators' head that their constituents are going to suffer if you allow this to happen. And they're going to suffer more. Addison alone will lose 50 to 75,000 a year. Even though you're paying us franchise fees, you're going to lose just as much. It's really going to be catastrophic to some communities. Those little communities up in the UP that have been absorbing those funds for 30 years. I mean, they're all poor anyhow.
Yeah, they
Really?
were absorbing funds that weren't really supposed to be directed to them the way they were absorbing them. They were supposed to be.
Initially, the franchise fees are to maintain rights of ways and the leftovers, because they had no idea when they even created this legislature how popular cable would have gotten. This was in 86 or 84 when they set this up. FCC set this up. And so communities reaped a lot of benefits.
And I have not read the House bill, but we want to call people and tell them to vote no on it, correct?
Correct. Correct. It will.
They're all written funny, and
Yep.
a no vote's a yes vote.
Yes.
and-
Yep. No, this is a no vote, and they're looking. So it's been tossed around. We're willing to contribute if they want to rewrite this bill. And so I spoke with one of the gentlemen that wrote that bill, and I said, do you know how many communities are going to lose firefighters and police officers and EMT? And he kind of went, well, no, that's not necessarily true. Well, yes, it is. He didn't even think about that. So I think there's a lot that could be brought to the table if us on this side, the public access side, the franchise fees users, met with the bill writers and rewrote that bill. Everybody's going to lose a little bit, but not everything. The community, it's going to devastate financially communities.
Well, if
in
you've got
Michigan.
information compiled
I
with your
do.
ducks in a row, why don't you call the Detroit News? Let them do
So-
an article on it.
It's so confusing to them. They don't know. I spoke with
Yeah, but they got some
Charlie
pretty
Langton
they got
about
some
this,
pretty sharp people.
who's been on cable boards, public access boards forever. And I talked to him for a half hour, and he's like, well, yeah, why don't you write it down and get it to me? And there's no video that's going to go with that. And what kind of pictures? And it's the mindset. But yes, I have no problem doing that. None of us do.
Well, you need a big media outlet in order to get the word out.
we do.
The Detroit News is pretty big.
Yes, it is. I don't have a problem writing to them, but it's going to be quite an education before January 10th for a reporter to understand it and then regurgitate it. But yeah, I have no problem
Is
doing that.
other states rescinded,
There's 13 states that have passed it.
passed legislation to rescind the funding?
Not to rescind the funding, but not make streamers a video service, which is exactly what they're doing.
But are they still paying the franchise fees?
No.
For,
Cable
For cable.
providers are, yes.
in those 13
John,
states?
In those 13 states, the cable providers are, but the streaming services, Hulu, Fire Stick, Roku, Disney, they're not paying a dime, and they're using the same access. They're delivering video services.
Do you watch those streaming services? Are you, let me rephrase.
Netflix.
Are you subscriber to those streaming services?
Probably.
Netflix
I don't
is-
watch TV. I don't know.
Probably.
There's 6 people in my house, probably. I
do-
think we
are
have
you?
we have
No.
Fire Sticks.
Are you?
Yeah, I have Netflix, I have Roku.
We have Netflix
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Netflix.
and Prime.
My both of my daughters, I consider them to be part of the new, the millennium that
Yeah.
are doing the newer and greatest things. Both of them, and with their families, no cable, they were just streaming. My daughter here is converting to cable because she says it's too expensive. She said if you get Hulu, Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, and you start adding all that up,
Yeah.
she goes, you might as well just have cable.
It probably makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because you get all that with cable.
So maybe this won't be as a big a deal. I don't know. I know Disney is.
Once it goes away, it'll never come back.
Oh, I understand that.
And,
No,
and we
but I'm
have till
saying,
January.
I guess I still don't quite understand if they're voting to eliminate franchise fees. Period.
They're not. They're voting to not make streaming services a video delivery system like a cable provider.
That's what they're voting on.
Yes.
So we still could be getting funding.
Until, if that passes, within days, the attorneys for Comcast, Charter,
Yeah, okay.
AT&T will be writing a bill to say if they don't have to pay for video streaming services, why are we? And
Oh, I
it'll
see
be
what
the
you're saying,
same reasoning that they used to pass this bill.
Okay, so then if they use that argument, why are we? Well, how long is that going to take to fight?
None. It won't take long at all. This bill was introduced in September. And it's at the Senate already in January. And basically, I don't know if you remember when I went to Washington and we were talking to senators down there, that was like 5 years ago. We've been fighting this fight that long. And boy, by the time when that bill got written, it zoomed through. It should never have done that. But those providers have a lot more money, a lot more lobbyists, and they're a bigger voice than ours. Although Protect is there, they have lobbyists. Lake Orion has a lobbyist. He or she, I think it's a woman. They're there, but they're a quieter voice. There's one. Protect, and now MICMA has people that are going as well. And there's a couple, like Donnie Steele, she's pretty loud. Even though it's already passed the House, she's still pretty loud. But compared to AT&T and the money that they have, we just need everybody to call their senator and say, vote no. I understand Ruth, I've spoke with Ruth Johnson for quite a while, and at that point, she said, that's just another tax for our consumers. But I've since gotten correspondence from her that she's against it. So she's our senator, and Shriver is our representative. He's against it. Quite a few people that we know are against it. It just is the people that we can't get to.
Is it a party line thing? You know?
No, we thought maybe it might have been initially, but no, it's not. So next year's a election year, right? So they want to stand up and say, I'm protecting my consumer. I'm not going to let them put another dollar on your bill. What they're not saying is hundreds of thousands. They're going to be taxed. The consumer's going to end up being taxed to pay for the sidewalks or that extra EMT guy or the firefighter. That's going to increase their taxes. But the senators, we only had one chance to say that to the senators, whereas the lobbyists are there every day going, no, it'll be fine. They'll be fine. We won't tax them. We won't put that on their bill. And I also have, Dave found this today, it's kind of a wrap-up of what this bill's all about and who's been verbal about it, opposing it, which were on that list, which is really nice. And I'll scan it and send you guys an
Okay,
electronic
good.
copy.
Thanks.
It kind of just wraps it up in a nutshell.
The other thing is that both Spectrum and Comcast
Yeah,
are setting
same charter.
themselves up to ride this train. They're offering full service, almost a duplicate of their full service cable as a streaming service. So if this bill goes through, you'll eventually see this paring down of the franchise fees as they convert, or more people
To
go to the
streaming
streaming
services.
service that these
Yep.
heavyweights are going to be providing.
I do watch a lot of the streaming services, and I do watch a lot of the cable. When I'm watching TV, I mean my percentage of viewing. But I have to say the football game on Prime is terrible. My thing keeps. I mean, I have decent internet service. I have. I don't know what I have, 200 plus megabytes per second of speed, and it keeps buffering.
Yeah. And the more people that jump on streaming services,
Well, that's why
until they
both
upgrade
my
that.
son-in-laws are IT I call them up. I say, "What's going on here?" And they said, "It's because you
A lot
got
of people.
100 million people all watching the same thing." They
That's
said,
why I don't watch football.
"Well, it's streamed. It's the only way you can watch it because it's streamed and it's terrible."
Yeah. Well, and so the first year that we tried to live stream the graduation at the high school, it buffered like that and paused and stopped, and people complained at us, but it was because there were so many, it was bad reception in there, and so many cell phones and so many people. It just, they haven't worked it out yet so that it's perfect to begin with. And then, and they're all going to change over to it because it looks like this House bill is going to pass. Well, that's one of the reasons. It's probably going to be a heck of a lot cheaper.
Okay.
for them. So that's the update on that, and I'll keep you posted.
All right. Item 9A under unfinished business, discussion of the next OACCC meeting dates. So, next year's schedule.
Do we have the schedule in
I think we had it in last month's.
January 22nd.
there? January 22nd?
I didn't see a schedule in here.
No, I think we had, the schedule was like in last
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we voted on it because we didn't, you weren't here.
No, but I had a great nap.
So,
The next one would be,
we're meeting on the same, the fourth Monday of the month?
Yep.
Yeah, here it is. So the 22nd,
yes,
so 22nd, 26th of February, 25th of March, 22nd of April, so it's the fourth Monday of the month.
Yep.
which it's always been.
So we're on, the schedule is the fourth Monday of the month for every month of the year except for Christmas and Memorial Day. Memorial weekend, they moved it up to the 20th. And then Christmas, they moved it up to the 16th.
Do you want to approve the whole year's schedule or just talk about?
Well, do we want, are we okay with that schedule? Do we want to change, just approve that and then
Modify.
we
as you
always
go.
seem to modify things down the road anyway,
Well,
so,
so many people go to Florida and Norway, and
yes, my,
wherever the heck you people are going.
so, do we want to go with the schedule that was proposed last month?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the proposed meeting schedule for 2024.
Support.
As presented.
Support.
All right, we have a motion, it's been supported, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
So no
Okay.
one's going to Florida for January, right? Ed didn't answer, he just laughed.
He's not gonna be here. He already said he's not gonna be here.
I stated that. 2023 budget amendment.
This is left over from last month, our meeting last month. This was the internet services for the township, the $163 per month. I will include it in our next budget. And so also in your packet, you have the minutes for the meeting, that they made that motion and it passed. And as I was reminded, they fully fund us, so it's,
I read that one. I still didn't
Fair.
understand why we're paying.
Well, I think they feel that, it's an expense that should come from it should be paid for by an alternative source because it's available.
Well, I
And,
feel they probably shouldn't have television in the township offices, but they've got one.
yeah. I took it, when I was, I guess, I'm not gonna, let sleeping dogs lie was the, common phrase.
it's actually for internet services. Somehow it got transferred to television services. I don't believe it is just the television, it's for internet as well.
Are we paying for their streaming services? Do they have Hulu?
I don't know.
I think they have.
How would you know, Ed?
So, they originally kept $10,000, and I figured it out. It's been 96 months that we've been paying for that, and it would have been $15,648, all in all. And like I was reminded, we get full franchise fees from them. Other communities use portions of our franchise
I guess there'll
fees
be
for
other
other things.
expenses they're going to be, applying down the road. Be
Smells like
prepared,
blackmail.
yeah. And personally, I guess, I know I'm from the township, but I guess, given how what they provide, I guess I can't argue with them.
Yeah, we get a good amount of money from them.
All right,
So that's why we need to amend the budget.
we do
Yes.
need to amend the budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendments as presented.
Support.
We have a motion on the budget amendment. It's been supported. Roll call.
Can we do budget amendments without Kathleen? Oh, we
Yes.
can, because you're in the township too.
Yeah, Kathleen and I are both in the township. She's gone, but I'm still here. There's a super quorum still here.
Yep.
When you arrived, we
Sit as-
became super.
Yes.
You made us super.
I'm always super. So, John,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mo? Yes.
What did Mo do?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Motion carried.
All right, item 10A.
That's just on here so that, that can go in minutes for Susan to enact it. I know you
I was gonna say, didn't we do this last month?
brought it up. We brought it up.
We didn't
last
vote on
time.
it.
You didn't vote,
Probably
right?
because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. See, another stumbling block.
I'm that important.
Yeah, I
You
see.
sure are.
So, we didn't vote on the pay increases because we didn't have a super quorum.
Correct.
I can't even remember what we decided. Was it
6%.
6?
Pardon me?
6% for Terry, and then, did we vote on the employees' raises?
No, we couldn't.
Oh,
You approved the budget.
and those were 8%, didn't you say?
You know, I reduced it to 6%.
So 6% for everybody, including you.
So essentially, it's a 6% increase
Across the board.
across the board. The
I'll make a
board had
motion.
no issue with it, but the super quorum wasn't there to fully or to officially recognize it.
I'll make a motion to approve the 6% increases for 2024 for all employees.
I'll second.
We have a motion been supported. That needs roll call.
John,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mo, yes.
Okay.
And so Mo wasn't here when you amended the agenda. So we have one more item. now.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. All right. I amended the agenda because I thought we should be voting on officers for next year. Now, there was a question raised as why can't we just do it in January? Well, you can. See, my thing, I won't be here to defend myself, but I won't be here, but
We'll put you on everything.
I'm sure you will. I don't care. I'm just saying I won't be here in January, but Catherine's not here. But do you want to vote on officers now, or do you want to wait till January? What do you want to do, John?
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really
I gotta
matter.
work.
If no one's leaving, I don't care if we do it today or next month. I don't care.
Yeah, is nobody leaving, Ed? Are
Is
you
this
still
your way
gonna
of
be
telling
here?
us you're not coming
When, in
back?
January?
No, on the board. You staying on the board?
I haven't been told otherwise.
Okay. I have no problem voting on our officers tonight. I mean, are we changing anything? Does anybody want to do something that they're not doing? John?
I'm good.
Mo?
What's your,
I'll make them. Okay, so we've got Ed as chair, Kathleen's vice chair, or who's vice chair?
Here's our
Karen's vice
nominated,
chair.
Karen.
Well, I'm
Catherine.
just trying
here's
to
our
do-
slate. Mo's
why don't
gonna
you
anno-
just
Mo's gonna
simplify?
announce-
Why don't you just keep everything the same? Why don't you just make the motion?
I'm just trying to figure out where. I'll make a motion to approve officers for 2024 to be the same as 2023.
There you go.
Support.
Boy, that's a legitimate thing.
It is legitimate. So, we have a motion that's been supported. Roll call.
Oh, wait, who supported that?
I did.
Oh, thank you.
Karen,
Yes.
Ed,
Yeah,
John?
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Mo, yes.
all right.
Motion carried.
See, that was pretty simple, I
That
guess.
It's a little
Easy.
painful.
Managers report,
Okay, it's a smaller one this time. We participated in the Christmas parade, both covering and announcing it. We will be participating again this year with Lake Orion Food Drive. I will go down there and do a show with them, and we will air their shows that they're running throughout that week. Let's see. I don't know why I'm saying, I've got in there December 13th. Oh, the township board approved our amended budget, and I forgot to put amended in there. Initially, I gave them the budget with that 132,000 in contingency. They didn't want to see it there, so I took it out and gave them the budget that you already approved. And I said no updates on House Bill 4965, and I typed this before we had that meeting with MICMA, so I updated you on that. We had a Parks and Recs coffee and conversation, which was really cool. They had some of their people come over that had never been in the studio before, so I got to explain House Bill 4965 to them. Also our funding, which they weren't aware of how we were funded and what we do for the community. So that was fun. And the Parks and Recs Board passed the resolution against 4965. We've been busy with school and holiday events. We will be having our holiday lunch for our staff on Thursday, so you guys are welcome to come if you want. Pizza and salad. Joe Calhoun will be working with Chaz Millard, the video instructor, helping him with his students, teaching them how to do newscasts. Initially, when Chaz and I talked, it was just going to be 1 week. And then Joe went and talked with him to get specifics of what Chaz wanted. And he wants them there a couple days a week permanently. So Chaz and I need to speak a little bit because we will be paying him to do that. And Chaz does need help, which is why it's taken so long for all of us to get together and do stuff with those students because he's so overwhelmed. So we're still trying to work it out. Still no franchise fees from Leonard.
I want to say that I did talk to Mike. He indicated to me in a text after our conversation that funds would be sent to the board or to the commission the following day.
Again, he said that? Or that, because you told us that last
was
month.
before.
Did was that last month? I
Yeah.
told you that last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Puff, puff, pass, baby.
We don't have them And I want everybody
I
to
didn't
have
realize
a
it's been that, I just, it could have been. Anyways,
safe holiday.
we never got him, so
No, we didn't get
I'll
them.
let him know.
He already knows.
I'm sure he knows.
Poor John.
Yeah, sorry, John. I
That's all right.
hate to keep bringing it up. I'm sorry.
It's no problem.
But I'm just letting everybody know that check didn't come in.
Are you done with the report?
Happy holidays.
Committee reports. Technical committee, we have not met. We have done our stuff for the year. Personnel committee, you guys have
We're
done
done for
your.
about 10 months.
Yeah, we're good
done for a
till
while.
October.
Commissioner comments, start with you, Maureen?
Nothing.
Nothing. Karen?
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
John?
Merry Christmas as well.
I would likewise would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
I thought you were gonna say.
Again.
I thought you were gonna say bah humbug.
Wow, but no. Public comments. Again, Kyle, nothing. Not a thing. I'll taking a motion for adjournment.
So moved at 5:20.
Support.
We've got a motion that's been supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
We're
you.
done.